Well. What do we have here? I mean, guys, this I am the gentleman, and this young lady is speaking some things that sound a lot better coming from her than me. But not much different than anything that I've said. So she clearly has a cap screwed on right, and thusly, I mean, no pullout, guys, of course. So without further ado, my darling, by all means, take it away.
News, more listening to the news, more bullshit. I was driving in the car and Fox News was on. And the person that was on was saying, if we have to, push this till the end of the summer. And it's just like, so are all of us around the world in our country just supposed to lay down and die at the
Yes, they couldn't care less. And like I've spoken of in other previous videos, Fox News is not owned by the same people that they were once owned by. They're owned by, I think, I have to go look it up, Clear Something Media. And, them, ABC, CBS, all of the institutions that we could once, who had the Walter Cronkites and the Edward R. Murrows, who we could trust. They've been completely replaced by this conglomerate that is agenda.
expense of a fucking virus that is not a pandemic by any means.
5,000 bodies, guys. Over the past month and some change, 5,000 bodies. And as we've discussed on this channel, how many times? Endless. 7,400 bodies per day in the U.S. according to UN reports. So, guys, there's this rapper that they're like, oh yeah, COVID took him. My goodness. And there's people like, oh yeah, I got sick. But you're okay. Well, and the rapper that they're talking about is like this real big dude who clearly had underlying conditions. And they're also, as we've discussed on this channel multiple times, the body count. They're not being frank. They're not being legitimate with the body count.
If you don't realize yet that you are being lied to about the numbers, about how you're catching it, about all of this, you need to seriously research now, because the complicity.
Honestly, I don't even need to research. I just got common sense, and I've seen enough Bond movies where like, oh my goodness, like yes, like this is like some Kingsman shit. Like everybody is just like on this wave where like, oh yes, must listen to government authority, but years of shitty public schools and a complete desecration after 9/11 of our rights via the NSA and the like. I mean, of course, the establishment and the elites will believe that they could get there won't be very much resistance that can't be stamped out to this because we've been bowing and spreading cheeks and begging for more for the past at least since 2001.
That is going on is really scary. So basically, what the whomever is in charge here, all they have to say is, you must stay in your house, you can't do this, you can't do that. All of your rights are taken away from you. And everybody's complicit. Everybody's like, okay, well, what should we do next? Should we open our windows and jump out so we don't catch the virus? Because we'll do that. So at what point do we say, we need to fucking stand up together and take charge of this whole thing? Our lives are being ruined right before us. And we're all just complicit and in agreement to it.
No, that's the thing. I mean, it really does have more to do with your local and state governments, right? Than just like at the more so than at the national level. Like I covered the Idaho lady the other day, where it's like, okay, but that cop was being cool, like as opposed to like other stories where like people are arrested with their children just going and being like not social distancing with their very own children. So it's It really does depend on like the like what your government is doing, what your state or your local government's doing, more so than what's taking place at the federal level. Because the deal is that Trump's been hands off. He's like, yo, I'm gonna let the states rock out.
I don't think I'll ever see another event like this in my life. I can only hope that I don't.
I'm with you.
But the fact that we are also complicit is very scary. The fact that people are afraid to be near other human beings is I don't even actually have a word to describe that.
Let me give it a shot. It's basically terrifying because they are taking the media, like, because that's the thing that really freaks me out about it, is how hard all of the different companies, all of the like all of the different radio stations, like Charlemagne the God and like the Breakfast Club. Oh my God, the worst thing on radio in the world is the Breakfast Club right now, because like they really just the six corporations that run most of our media have all decided, yeah, we're gonna cause this stir, we're gonna cause this panic, to a point where I'm at the ATM, some lady's yelling at me about having a mask on, and I'm just like, lady, look, it is what it is. Faith is a thing. This is why I believe in God. Leave me alone.
Go into the food store and everybody is looking around at each other and moving away from each other. So because our government tells us this boogeyman out there is going to get you if you are close to another human being, that we all go along with this. So then when our government also tells us that this boogeyman is gone, then we can go back to our normal lives. We could sit next to people. We could shake hands. We can hug. What kind of sheep shit is this? That we are...
Well, it's honestly been ingrained into the American culture and American populace for 30, 40 years before me or you got here, sweetheart. It's how do I put it? Like, there are so many people, particularly the older amongst us, like that boomer generation, that will sit there listening to CNN all day, and they like Trump derangement syndrome's a real thing. And so what a lot of these states and counties aim to do is to just make things so terrible, so bad, that people will have no other choice than to try to get Biden in there. Ultimately, that's what it feels like in many ways. But like with all of the plans that they've had for the past, 3 years, 4 years, it's just like it's just gonna backfire. It's just gonna backfire. We're gonna end up with 4 years of Trump, and the economy is going to, and the inflation rate is just gonna get bananas. Yikes! There's a lot of moving parts, guys. So many different moving parts.
All allowing to happen. I'm not saying people don't get sick from this or are not getting sick from this. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, where the fuck are all of you when people by the hundreds of thousands are dying per flu season? Do you walk out of your house with a mask wrapped around your face? Do you walk...
See, and that's the thing, like that 5,000 number, that's just for the state of New Jersey. I mean, if you're unfamiliar with this, I don't know why, but if this is your first video of mine, yeah, I'm an elected official in Essex County, New Jersey, and I've been just begging my fellow electeds, hey, how are these numbers being counted? Like, what's going on? Are we making a distinction between with and by? Even though I know the answer is no. I've been trying to get some kind of confirmation on that, because it's just the federal guidelines left it so vague that they could really do as they could decide to declare anything one of these deaths, and all that would do is fuel the media to continue ramping up the hysteria and fear
around your house, out of your house, fearing for your life? Does the government care about you then when you're dying of a flu that comes around every single year? Do they...
Government don't give a shit about you when you sign up for their military and pledge your life to the flag. No, the government don't give a shit. You are an asset. Just saying, but we shouldn't expect the government to give a shit. We should be so on top of our government that they have absolutely no choice but to not even consider these types of measures because wait, no, that's your ass. But no, unfortunately, particularly at the local, county, and state level, there's like freaking mini monarchies in the United States all over the place.
Care? No. Do they care when millions of people annually die from cancer, heart disease, obesity? If they gave a shit, half of those things that are in our food that are what's making most of us sick wouldn't be allowed. They would be banned like other countries. Half of the ingredients that are in our food, they're in our food supply, are banned in other countries. So if our government actually gave a shit to save lives, it would start with the food that we eat every single day.
I hear absolutely no lies, and damn, she bad. Like she really is. You're welcome, gentlemen. See, your boy always coming through with some baddies for you because this is a fellas channel, and this is just what we do, guys. We kick back, we talk real shit, and we admire beauty because that it's not about hating women, okay? It's about just recognizing the traps that have been laid and maneuvering around them, fellas. Because honestly, like really, if you want to argue with me on this one, my comment section is open. Try and tell me this. Try and tell me she ain't bad. I ain't sitting here saying, oh yeah, she's the greatest woman to ever walk the face of the earth or anything else like that. But some like, bruh, if you, hey, would you want to stick an image? You're gonna say, even if you are alphabetical, by all means, if you are alphabetical dude, tell me you want like, maybe.
Tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm not. If they gave a shit, would you have all these crazy chemicals in Roundup? How many people got cancer because of Roundup? They're being sued by the billions. How many people get sick from powder, baby powder, Johnson & Johnson? They've been sued. I don't know how many times.
Johnson Johnson's on that global citizen bullshit too. Like I peeped that. There's this ad that I saw where the Global Citizen Parade. Oh my goodness, our Satanist stuff, and Johnson & Johnson's right under there too. And Woody Johnson and his son are the owners of the Jets. And dang it, why does everything I like turn out to be evil? Damn.
All these things that are around us every single day, our soaps, our lotions, our skincare products, the clothing that we wear, everything that is surrounding us is making us sick and slowly poisoning us to death. So what makes you think that now all of a sudden they care about a virus that kills 1 in every 1,000 people? What makes you think that all of a sudden they care? And that this isn't about something way bigger than a virus? Our whole economy is shot to shit right now. People are losing their businesses that they worked their entire lives for, and they'll never recover from it. What is the solution to that?
That's the thing. They created the problem. They pushed go on having the there was, I guess, I hate to make it sound like, oh, there was just this button, and then the media just took the narrative and ran with it. But if you recall that video that came out from Sinclair Media, where everyone's repeating the exact same thing, the exact same script, and it's all these different news stations and news channels. I mean, guys, this was them in many ways. It's those forces sitting there pressing and really putting it on, putting the fear out there that the media has spent the past 60 years cultivating throughout the American masses.
So you're going to tell me that because we can't even believe whatever the death toll is. We don't even know, because they're lying to us and they're falsifying death records, death certificates. So we don't even know how many people are really dying from this. But it does not warrant shutting down the entire world.
Even with the numbers.
So at what point do we say, we're not doing this anymore?
I mean,
at what point? When you watch your mother, your father, your sister, your cousin kill themselves because they can't make ends meet anymore. At what point do we stand up and say, this is fucking crazy. These numbers are not adding up for all this to happen?
Well, there's a thing in Trenton on the 28th that I'm highly considering going to. So I mean, let me know in the comment section if you want me to do something from out there.
At what point does that happen? Because this is beyond anything we will ever see in our lifetime again. And the fact that it was so easy for the government to say, we're going to get everybody to stay inside. Let's see what happens. Let's tell them about this boogeyman and see what happens. Surely enough, roads are empty. Surely enough, people are not leaving their house. Surely enough, people are scared to death to visit their own family members. My own family members won't go see other family members because of this.
Because of the grip that the media has had on your family for such a long time. They say go, they say jump, they ask how high. Because we've been manipulated, we've been brainwashed. Not just in those chemicals that you spoke of earlier, they play a role in that as well. We're an impulsive bunch of us Americans.
The amount of depression, the amount of suicide, that the suicide rate is going to go up. What's going to happen when there is civil unrest, when people finally say, we're not doing this shit anymore? We are going back to our lives. We are not free right now in a country that is founded on our freedoms.
You're never free, sweetie. Sorry. Track us with our social security numbers. We are property. Make no mistake, a lot of the debt is like a lot of the country's debt is based upon our debt. It really is a complex system when it comes to economics in the United States with the GDP and NASDAQ and all that other fun stuff. But the deal is that it like as far as all that freedom, I once heard someone refer to the United States as a free range tax farm, and I was like, nailed it.
And the fact that we are all just complying to everything that's going on just goes to show the government, like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And they're not even going to rebel.
I mean, shoot, after once again, after the signing of the Patriot Act and the NSA, everything that took place after 9/11, the establishment has had its balls out for a really, really long time. The difference is that they used to lie to us. Now they just they don't care, particularly if you're not looking at the world through the Trump derangement syndrome goggles. So I think that how much of this did I get? Like 6 minutes? That's pretty good. So guys, she is absolutely stunning. She is 100% correct. And with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it, like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? It's just what do we do? Where do we go? How do we find out? This, like, things are in such flux right now, and like I said before, I genuinely believe they want certain areas to be so jacked up that they can't do anything, that they'll only blame it on Trump and Trump derangement syndrome, so they'll be able to manipulate them into a win, manipulate Biden into a win on November 4th. That's just one theory, but hey, I'm pretty sure you got some of your own, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.